All right. This is Coach Cheryl here to bring you guys this week Scott Schweitzer's journey to losing 100 pounds, but I am doing it solo this week and I've already messed up one. So, guys, this is what happens when you are not the techie girl and you're doing a podcast on your own. So, I accidentally entered the studio and realized I had taken the background off to record my own podcast. And then I went to put it back up and didn't realize that I couldn't get back in the same scheduled thing. But technical glitch, I am back and I am here solo this weekend because Scott is actually at the Masters Fitness Collective in Indiana, which I am repping my Jen Ryan shirt. She is in the Masters Division 40 to 44, but he's judging. So he is busting his ass this weekend. And so I'm going to be bringing you guys this week's check-in live on my own, which is kind of cool because I'm actually going to get a little bit more detailed into what I do. And I still don't know how to share screen, and I'm not going to go into trying that today without Scott on here, but I am going to break down some things. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to go into this week's focus for Scott was really taking a look at how he handled last year's competition season and using this as a way for him to practice being more prepared for that. Because during the semifinals last year, he really struggled with taking care of himself because he was doing so much during those times and was not properly fueling himself. And that's kind of when things started to kind of go into more of a maintenance mode, not into, hey, I'm actually looking to see more progress mode, which isn't always a bad thing. But I wanted to make sure that he was setting himself up for success this weekend. So he is driving. He drove 3 hours from where he lived to Indiana. So my suggestion was to bring a full cooler because he didn't know what type of refrigerator he was going to have. This way he wasn't leaving everything to chance. Guys, when you can, if it doesn't take you that much time to get that preparation to happen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not being over the top. Like, I can easily just pack a cooler and bring my own stuff. Guess what? Now you're not winging it all weekend. You have things with you to kind of plan in. So he had brought some jerky. He brought some snacks, protein bars, pre-portioned out all of his snacks so he doesn't have to worry about that now for the weekend, which is awesome. That's showing that he's very dedicated. He's going to be on his feet all weekend judging. So I know he's going to be very, very active. He's likely not going to be hitting a workout, but he's going to be getting plenty of movement throughout the day, which matters more than your actual intensity in the gym. So that's what he's doing this weekend. I'm really proud of him. He checked in on time. I was worried about that. And he didn't miss it. He kind of checking into me, which is what we're going to go over now. So this week, Scott's progress. This week, we are a little bit in what I would like to call maintenance mode on the scale, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So every once in a while, guys, having the body just kind of stay where it's at isn't always wrong. And I am looking at his nutrition. His food is looking pretty good this week. Protein looks pretty good. Had 2 low days, and really it was Wednesday and Thursday, just I think being on the road and getting prepared, he was definitely under on everything. Now, he could also have not been logging everything perfectly this past, yesterday and today. I know that he had a volunteer dinner Thursday night. So that might have been where he saved some calories for that dinner. So I'm not 100% sure. But regardless, the purpose of this weekend isn't to be spot on to see weight loss. It is simply to make sure that he's eating enough and supporting his body. So this week, I'm not going to be making any adjustments until we check in after he gets back from his trip and seeing how he does. So want to go over some of his feedback, though, for this week because he is getting some amazing stuff to happen. So first and foremost, I'm going to actually kind of read to you guys some of the questions from my check-in form that he's responded to that I thought would also be helpful for you. So did you have any successes this week? These can be scale or non-scale related. I always ask this question first because it's always good for us to really celebrate where we're doing well before we think about all the things we're doing bad and giving you his feedback. My back has held up to all the workouts this week, and that is huge. When I was a high-level athlete, I was never the best. I was the hardest worker. I feel that guy is busting out of my shell. I am not just going to the back corner of the gym anymore. I go to the middle and don't hide anymore. My focus is not on the scale this week. My biceps are getting bigger as my shirts are getting very tight in my arms. I love this. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I love being strong. I want muscle again. And that is just like fucking awesome. Like, that is just somebody that is like committed to feeling good. And that is what we want. We should always be feeling good in the journey. This is somebody that's going to the gym and they are no longer timid in the back seat and they're looking at everybody else. This is awesome. Any struggles? I hate that I lose week weight top down. I know there is no control over this, but it's frustrating. The other thing, which is a problem last time, is my skin getting loose in some areas just below my waist. Okay. These are where I'm going to start by talking to you guys about. These are very, and I'm putting Scott, I'm putting him out there this week. This is vulnerable, right? This is a common thing that people have to experience. In fact, one of my clients, Isaiah, recently went through like a loose skin surgery because he had lost, I believe, over 200 pounds. And that these are things that are going to change as we lose weight. We are going to see things, but the goal is really to optimize our ability to build muscle throughout this phase, and we're not just losing weight. This is why strength training during a weight loss phase is so important, why he's focusing on that strength. I think the other thing that's hard is that we all lose weight in different places. Some women are very insecure because they'll lose weight in their legs and their butt before they lose weight in their belly. And nobody wants to look like they have skinny legs and a big belly. So I get it, guys, but remind yourself that we also don't see ourselves the way everybody else sees us. Okay. I actually was recording my podcast earlier today and I was talking about, body image and things like that. But we are always going to go to the things that we don't like about ourselves the most. We are always going to freaking focus on those things. And so likely he is losing weight in a distributed way. However, he's still seeing where he's biggest. Everybody is going to have that. And it's a hard thing to overcome, but remind yourself when people look at you, they're not looking at one thing. They're looking at you as a whole. So he answers, he does. Larry, absolutely. Larry, you are a client of mine and you're working on that. He definitely goes into depth. The more detail you guys give your coaches on a check-in form, the more we can help you guys. The more I see where you're struggling, that's going to be a lot better for you. And it's actually showing that you value yourself enough to take the time to reflect on, hey, what am I doing well this week? What do I need to do better at? And it's the people that avoid doing those things that are typically like, why am I not getting results? Because you're not really filling me in on everything. So that's good, Scott. Other thing you mentioned was getting into a little bit of a depression about things. And I don't want him to be that way. I think that he is going to be much more successful this time. And I'm really, really happy that if he can't. So he had put in there that he had tried to get skin removal surgery at one point before and was denied. And he thinks that this time he will be more successful. And I 100% believe in him. We're going to make that happen for you. So in terms of his feedback, he gave me one action step that he wanted to do. He mentioned getting a bod pod or a DEXA scan done. And I did think that that would be a good idea, but I actually told him that I think what would be better for now is just getting some measurements because he can measure himself frequently. Whereas these tests can be somewhat more expensive and aren't always 100% accurate. But we are going to do some research because I do think it's important for people to have a different metric. So what he's talking about, guys, if most of us are familiar with weight, right? We get on the scale, we see a difference with the DEXA scan or a bod pod. This is going to measure changes in our body composition, how much lean tissue or how much fat-free mass we have compared to how much fat mass we have. So he's wanting to get that as another metric, but measurements can do the same thing because if we're seeing changes in our measurements and we're not seeing changes on the scale, that does mean that we are losing body fat. And a way to look at it is if I have a pound of feathers, that's going to take a lot of feathers and take up a lot of room. If I have a pound of sand, that's going to take up a lot less room. So you're going to see shrinkage, but you might not actually see a change in the overall scale. So love that though. He has been successfully weighing out his food 90% or more, hitting his macros 5-6 days, drinking plenty of water, only ate out once or twice, had a few alcoholic drinks, but not too many. So his compliance score was an 82%. Awesome. How would you rate your hunger? He is getting hungry between meals, but no cravings, a little bit of moodiness, but not too much. He's not very tired. Things are going well in his digestive tract and he's feeling pretty fit and excited to work out. So all good things there. He hit 4 to 5 workouts last week and was averaging 5 to 10K steps. So everything is in a really good spot. His mental focus is a 5. He is ready to go. And as he reflects on this assessment, his final thoughts are, I am feeling so good right now. I feel the inner spirit gaining confidence and willing to work harder than anyone else has to get this done. He's on the right track and I freaking love it. So Scott, I am so proud of you this week. And I know you are crushing it as a judge right now in Indiana. Hopefully the weather's holding up for you guys. But this week, guys, Scott's check-in is we are not going to make adjustments. We might make adjustments next week because like I said, this week has been kind of sitting the same, but I honestly want to see how his body responds to this weekend. And if we maintain for one more week just to allow him to recover a little bit from the stress that he was just under over this weekend, that's okay. So we're going to figure out where he's at when he gets back from his trip. And that's pretty much all I got from you guys. So thanks for being with your coach only this week. Next week, we will return to Clydesdale and his coach. But for this week, y'all are stuck with me. If y'all have any questions you want to put up there for us, for me, or for Scott, please do so. Larry, even if that's you, definitely looking to hopefully help you guys get more out of this as well. He is on that journey to 100 pounds, and I am excited to do that. He is not going to be at the Rogue Invitational this year. I believe he is going to be at the Legends Masters Comp in December, which is in Cookeville, Tennessee, and then Wadapalooza as well. So if y'all want to come meet us first person, we would love to have you there. So I will be at Wadapalooza as well, and I might actually be at the Legends Comp. I haven't decided yet. So, and Larry, do you have any questions while I'm on here? I'm going to put you on the spot. Last one. All right. Well, guys, I am going to sign off. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. We definitely want you guys to get value out of this. We're hoping to motivate you guys all to take your journey seriously and really be committed to the changes. Scott is committed to a year, and I'm excited for that. So stay tuned for the next week, guys.